I don't even know where to begin. I'm still shaking while I think about it, and honestly, I'm not sure my life will ever look the same again. I'm 36 years old. I've been married to my wife for 8 years. We're both women. Her name is Leah. And until very recently, I believed, without hesitation, that she was the love of my life. We met through a local lesbian singles group. It wasn't something I'd planned. I'm a planner by nature. I think things through, I weigh risks, I rarely follow my gut. But with Leah, I did. 6 months after we met, we were married. And for years, I believed that instinct had saved me. She felt like home. Safe. Steady. Certain. I'm a teacher. I love kids, but I've never had a strong desire to have children of my own. If a child somehow became part of my life, I'd step up without hesitation. But it wasn't something I sought out. Leah felt the same way. She loved being the fun aunt, the family friend who could play for a while and then hand the kid back. That worked for us. Leah has a demanding, high-paying job. One that sends her away on long trips sometimes. When we met, she was stuck in a miserable company, and I helped her transition into a much better position. Over time, she thrived. Promotions. Stability. Contentment. She made significantly more money than I did, but I was comfortable, and we were solid. At work, Leah had what she called a work husband. His name was Jeff. He was younger, 29, and had taken over her old role after she was promoted. I never thought much of it. We're lesbians. It didn't feel threatening. I trusted her completely. Leah has PCOS. Hormonal imbalances. Weight fluctuations. Missed periods. Nausea from time to time. All of it had been part of our life together for years. During the early pandemic, she went through a phase where she felt sick a lot. Nauseous. Tired. Then it passed. We both gained weight during lockdown, and life went on. Then, last summer, she told me about an overseas assignment. A branch of her company urgently needed someone to step in for 2 months. Leah was the most qualified, and she had dual citizenship in that country, which made everything easier. The assignment came with a bonus we couldn't ignore. I didn't love the idea of being alone for 2 months during the pandemic, but I supported her. We talked every day while she was gone. At least, we talked when she felt well enough. She told me she had a stomach bug for a week and didn't feel up to calling much. Then she bounced back. She said she was doing great. Working out. Losing weight. Her team even sent her flowers because they missed her so much. I thought it was sweet. When she came home, she had lost a lot of weight. But she'd sent me photos of the gym at her accommodations, progress updates. Nothing felt alarming. We settled back into our routine. She mentioned she and Jeff weren't as close anymore after the time apart, but I didn't question it. The money from the assignment changed things for us. When lockdowns eased, we even took a holiday together. I thought we were doing well. I was wrong. 2 weeks ago, Leah's boss, Mike, asked to meet me for lunch. He said there was something he couldn't live with anymore. Something he needed to tell me. He brought a folder. Inside were emails, documents, payslips. All tied to Leah's overseas assignment. That trip wasn't a work assignment. It was paid maternity leave. Mike told me Leah had been having an affair with Jeff. It started years ago. A few hookups at first. Then, in February, she found out she was pregnant. I laughed at him. I screamed. I cried. I called him a liar. I told him he was sick for saying something like that about my wife. Then he showed me the messages. Pages and pages of texts between Leah and Jeff. Conversations about the pregnancy. About what to do. About hiding it. About how to make it work without me ever knowing. Leah didn't want the baby. Jeff did. And that was why she went overseas. She gave birth in another country. The baby girl was handed over to Jeff's parents. Custody signed away. I don't know the child's name. I don't know where she lives. I don't know if Leah has ever seen her since. What I do know is this. The woman I loved had an affair. She carried a child. Gave birth. And came back to our marriage like nothing had happened. And people knew. People I considered friends. People in our professional circle. They knew. And they said nothing. Leah doesn't know that I know. Not yet. I've already spoken to a lawyer. I don't know if I want to stay married. I don't know how I could. But I love her. And that's what's destroying me. Tonight, I'm going to confront her. I don't expect a good outcome. I'm just hoping to survive it. I waited until she came home from work. We ate dinner like normal. Small talk. Familiar routines. Every second felt unreal, like I was watching my life from the outside. After I cleared the table, I brought out the folder and set it down in front of her. She asked what it was. I asked her if there was anything she wanted to tell me. She didn't argue. She didn't deny it. Her face fell immediately, and her eyes filled with tears. When I opened the folder and pulled out the documents, she broke down completely. I tried to stay calm. I tried to stay detached. I failed. We both cried. For a long time, neither of us could speak. When she finally could talk, I asked her why. Why she would do this to me. To us. She told me she liked Jeff. That she was curious. That he had made passes at her before, even knowing she was married to a woman. When he made another move, she didn't stop him. What I didn't know, what hurt even more, was that the company holiday party wasn't the first time. It was just the time they got caught. Mike and 2 other coworkers knew about the affair back then. After that, it fizzled out, and they pretended to go back to being friends. She showed me her messages with Jeff. Both phones. Personal and work. What Mike had shown me was real, but incomplete. Jeff had used his company phone like a personal one, and that's how Mike had access to those messages. Leah mostly used her own phone. I don't know how long Mike had been holding on to those texts, or why he waited years to show me. Then came another truth. The bonus we used for our holiday wasn't a bonus. It was money from Jeff and his family. Payment. For acting as a surrogate, as Leah called it. She spoke about the baby like she was describing a business transaction. Detached. Clinical. Like it had nothing to do with her. I don't know if that makes it easier or worse. She explained how I didn't notice. How her clothes caused weight gain in her stomach anyway. How missed periods were normal for her. How, in a lesbian marriage, pregnancy simply wasn't something either of us expected. She showed me photos she'd sent Jeff, one for every month. In most of them, she didn't look obviously pregnant. In one photo, I was in the background, getting ready for work. That one broke me. I cried harder than I thought I could. All of this had been happening right next to me. In my own home. While I trusted her with my whole heart. She told me about the medication she was on. A medication that causes birth defects and requires strict birth control, something her doctor hadn't emphasized because she was married to a woman. When she started sleeping with Jeff, she stopped taking it without telling anyone. The risk of birth defects was why she wanted an abortion. Jeff and his family were against it. They were willing to take the risk. They saw it as surrogacy. She went overseas because it was easier legally and medically. Jeff's parents paid for everything. Very few people knew. Not the whole company. Not all our friends. Only Mike and one other person for sure. I still don't know why Mike exaggerated how many people knew. I don't know if he was lying then, or if Leah is lying now. At some point, I ran out of tears. I told her I'd already spoken to a lawyer. I filed for separation before confronting her. I needed to protect myself. I needed control over at least something. She cried herself to sleep that night. I stayed awake. I held her one last time, even though I knew it might be the last time ever. I wanted one final moment where things felt normal. Where she was still my wife, and not the person who shattered my reality. I don't know what happens next. I'm staying with a friend for now. I don't know if there will be another update. I don't know if my heart can take one. I loved her more than I knew how to say. And now I'm left trying to understand how someone can hide an entire life, while sleeping next to you every night.